So good morning everyone, Steve Brown from Swansea Creatives.
Morning.
I'm here this morning with Ben Riddle from Home Instead. And we've been creating a series of videos about what Home Instead is about and care in the home, etc. Now obviously probably the most important person is the actual customer, the client, whatever terminology you want to use. But the second most important thing is the caregiver, the person you're actually going to send into my home to look after my dad, etc. So let's just talk about caregivers at the moment. How do you know you're employing the right person? That's going to be a difficult one. So how do you know?
Where do we start? Okay. The only way that we can make sure that we've got the right person is by going through a robust recruitment process.
Okay.
Yeah? And I'll give you some statistics which are quite shocking. 8% of the people that apply for jobs with us are ones that get jobs with us. Yeah.
Okay.
So we are
92% of people don't.
We've sifted out an awful lot of people just to get that 8% that is even going to go to the next stage. It's not they're going to get a job; it's the next stage. We would have already pre-screened them.
So what are you looking for? So right, let me stop you there. So what are you looking for? What are you trying to avoid? Why have you got rid of the 92%? That's my question. What are you knocking on the head? What are you saying I don't like that?
Okay, it's not that I don't like, it's that the 8% I like.
Okay.
And the reason that I like them is because they've usually got obvious empathy, compassion, and they genuinely want to improve the lives of someone that they are going to go and support and care for.
Yeah.
And you'll be amazed, where even an initial phone call, never mind the actual interview, but even an initial phone call, that comes out in people.
Okay.
You've had Callum on earlier on.
Yeah.
He just exudes warmth and passion and loveliness.
Yeah, and I'm not just saying this for camera, but it was interesting that some of the things he was coming out with, and you can see this on another video. In fact, we'll put a link below this video so you can see it. But I know when Callum was talking, he was enjoying taking a gentleman out for a game of pool while the wife went off and did other things, and he was just telling me about the different things. He genuinely, you could see, just genuinely cared about the people he was caring for. So you're trying to, so if I get this right then, so you're trying to find that 8% of people that you get that initial feeling that they have that empathy, that they genuinely care about what they're doing as a role.
Absolutely spot on. Okay. And that follows on from everything we've been discussing in previous videos about the relationship. Because if I'm getting that warmth and that feeling over the phone, never mind actually visiting them, when they turn up at your dad's house, your dad's going to get that feeling, that warmth and that passion straight away. So that's why it's so important for us to really get that. So they will have gone through an interview, and they will have gone through some assessments as well when they come. Then before they go on our training course, they then have to have a DBS, which is a disclosure and barring service, in other words, a police check. Okay. Make sure they've got no history of any criminality. Yeah. If they have, they're not able to work in care. Okay.
Is that your rules or the rules of the UK?
No, that's the rules of the Care Police, the CSSIW that I mentioned earlier on. Okay. There are very, very few occasions when someone with a criminal record is able to work in care. Okay. It all depends on the detail of that particular record. We've got very, very strict rules on that in Home Instead for all the reasons that we've just spoken about. The other thing that we do as well is that the national minimum standards, which are what the Care Police are regulated by, say that you have to have 2 references from previous employers to come and work in care. Yeah. We ask for 6. Okay. Which
you're really digging deep.
Which, believe me, is incredibly difficult to get 6 references. Yeah. But we do, and it is an important part of really making sure this person is what they present, what they are. And getting a feel for them as well. I mean, don't forget as well that the people that we have upstairs that are doing the recruitment of them, I mean, Hannah's been working with me for just under 4 years. Right. Done every role in the business. She knows what good looks like. And as soon as you see someone or hear someone on the phone, you know whether they're going to be diamonds or not.
I get what you're saying on that.
Once we've gone through that process, so we've got all the police checks, we've got all the references, then we have the training then, which is a different thing altogether.
Okay, so let's just say, I'm just trying to get my head around what actually happens in the care community. So do you have full-time people? Are they all part-time people? Do I get a career in this? Or is it just a job I've got that earns me money?
The career question is an interesting one, and I can only bring that to life by giving you an example.
Okay.
But to say overarching, it all depends on the individual.
Okay.
You know, if they want a career in care, there is a career that you can have in care. I'll give you my example. We've got a lady that works with us, Rachel, who is now the deputy care manager.
Okay.
She's doing her QCF level 5, which is her management qualification to be able to be the care manager, which is the sort of the operations director in effect. So when she joined us 3.5 years ago, she was one of our best caregivers.
Okay.
She then went from...
So she started as a caregiver?
She started as a caregiver. She then went on to become a supervisor, which is out in the field giving advice to others because she was so good at that. Then she was working more in the office to get around, better grounding of what we do internally. And then she was given the deputy care manager's job and put on the QCF.
So the people who want a career, there's opportunities there for the right people. What about for those that are not looking necessarily for a career that way, because some people don't want all the responsibilities as you go up a ladder, as you know. So what about people who are just looking for part-time, full-time jobs? How does that work?
At Home Instead, we only employ part-time people.
Okay.
There's very, very good reasons for that. But what we're looking for is people that have got that flexibility in their hours.
Okay.
And in a lot of occasions want that flexibility in their hours. I mean, we've got a couple of girls who work with us in evenings and weekends because they've got a full-time job.
Okay. One
One particular lady that I'll tell you about, who has been with us, we've been in Swansea for 6 years, she's worked with us for 5 years, works in the DVLA, does her 40 hours a week, but yet on weekends and evenings she comes and works with us.
Okay.
Most people would be sitting there thinking, she must be exhausted, why would you do that? She does it because she gets a wage out of DVLA, which pays all her bills, but she gets enjoyment, and she gets so much enjoyment out of looking after people on the weekends and in the evenings. That relationships, that's where her passion is. And she actually said to me once, she said, if I had my life over again, she said I would never have gone into doing what she does. She wishes that she'd gone to nursing or some vocation where she was always caring for people. So again, she's part-time for us. We've got most of our girls are part-time. It means they've got flexibility in their hours.
Would you say that's because the people who have, you talk about this 8%, you're looking for that empathy, and people actually have a passion for, caring about people, which tends to be people who have family orientated, etc. So I would imagine a lot of the people you employ have family that they work around family hours. People who've got maybe children at school, etc. And waiting for their wife or their husband to come home, and then they can go out and do a job afterwards, type thing.
Yeah. The hard thing for us is there is no stereotypical carer. You're absolutely right. We've got people like that. We've got people that are late 60s who don't want a full-time job. They only want sort of 16, 20 hours a week. That's what they need for a top-up or pension top-ups. But at the other end of the spectrum, we've got young people who are sort of 19, 20, who are absolutely fantastic. I mean, there's one particular lady that works with us who's 18. She came to us when she was 18. She's now obviously older than that. But she has done palliative care for us. I mean, that is a big ask, and she wanted to do it. That is what she feels passionate about, and she has made so much difference to the end of life care that she's provided for some girls. So my point of that story is it's a real story, but just because she's young doesn't mean to say that she can't step up if you've got.
And as you mentioned, I mean, you're talking 18-year-olds right up to 60 plus and all the rest of it. So it's basically, if people have a passion for the job, and they meet all the other criteria which you've mentioned, this could very well be the job that they would want to do and actually enjoy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've got. Obviously, the caregiver that is put with the client is as a direct result of conversations with the client. But for example, most older people don't want young people coming to look after them.
No.
But then I had one client not long ago who said, I specifically want a young person. I miss my granddaughter. She's now in Australia. I really love the enthusiasm, the energy, the enthusiasm, And actually, the carer in that situation has had so much life learning skills, if you like, from the client as well.
I can believe that. Okay, so guys, this has been Steve Brown from Swansea Creators. I've been here with Ben Ruddle from Home Instead, and we've just been talking about, careers and jobs, etc. in caregiving. If you want to know more about becoming a caregiver with Home Instead, all you have to do is go on the website, which is below this video, or speak to a member of Ben or his team on the telephone number, which we'll leave below this video. Otherwise, we'll see you all in the next video.